Alright, we're in bad country now, and this is a review of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite books because it does the impossible almost. And I said before in my previous video, most books that start out with a banger, this book grips you from the first paragraph. It just from the first page, it captures you, it fascinates you. You can't put it down. And like I said, most books that start out with a hook that just take you into the action immediately, they lose their momentum by the halfway point. And this book does the impossible. It maintains its momentum throughout. And I have to say, the second half is not as strong as the first. It loses some of its quality in the writing, I would say. The rhythm, it kind of falls apart a little bit, but it's a great example for aspiring writers that the impossible can be done, where a book just keeps on going and it's gripping throughout. But they're rare, and this book is rare in that aspect, that it has done seemingly the impossible. Because like I said, I'm trying to publish my first novel, and the criticism that I get is that the first couple of pages aren't that gripping. They're not that interesting. They're not bad writing per se, but they just don't grab your attention. And that was deliberate, because I knew that I couldn't do what this book does, because I knew if I started out strong, then I would write like maybe 50 pages, and then I would be left with filler. You still have 300 other pages to write, but you've already exhausted your essence, if you can call it that, right? So this is a good example that it can be done, but it's difficult. It's very difficult to keep that standard of quality, that rhythm. Like Bukowski said, writing should be boom, boom, boom. It should be a rhythm, a tempo, if you want. It's almost like poetry, like music in motion, right? And there are very few books like this one that just maintains that tempo throughout. And this book is it's a classic. It's eternally quotable. You can pick up almost any page, any paragraph, and you can find something astounding, right? I mean, it starts, we were somewhere in the desert and the drugs began to take hold, and you got me, you got me. Say no more, I'm in. I'm in, bro. Alright, and I saw the movie, it was pretty great too. I think the movie ended perfectly. This book, it has a little bit of filler, You can't pick or choose one or the other. It's about taste. If you like the book more, great. I prefer the movie ending. It's better, I would say, but that's a different medium, so that's that. And of course, what makes a great book, as always, is if you're gonna read it again. And yes, I've already read it a couple of times, and I'm gonna read it again, and I recommend it to everyone, because it's just it's just a piece that is timeless, where you can probably pick it up 100 years from now, and you'll still enjoy it, right? It's just that kind of book. And like I said, it's perfect for aspiring writers, because even if this book does the impossible, where it keeps on going with the almost same level of quality throughout, it still has its bland moments sometimes, or filler, or the tempo or the rhythm drop in certain ways, in certain pages, in certain chapters, uh, in the second half. But it's still a great piece of literature, because it shows that even the impossible can be done, and it should be held as an example that, you know, you shouldn't aspire to do this in its own way. You should aspire to do better than this, to fix what this book couldn't do, where it almost stagnated in certain parts because, you know, you can't maintain the same tempo throughout. And it's just a, you know, regardless, it's just a phenomenal book. It's just, and I'm gonna read it until the day I die because it's just that great. You know, and that's pretty much it. It's I recommend it, and keep on reading because, you know, what else do we have but this treasure?